think it's marble, I really don't know. Maybe I should know, but I don't. I had some materials laying around the garage, and some of them cost money and some of them, well, they all cost money at some point. But let me show you. I set it on a shelf, forgot about it, and decided to this thing is actually pretty heavy. This top is very heavy. When we got, I want to say 10 or 15 bucks, which is pretty cheap.
I had bought some hardware a while back for an end table and I ended up not using it. So I already had it set aside in a box and I decided to use it. What's nice is it has a little angle to it. This piece of marble, as I've already said, we got from Target and it was missing a piece, so we got it for pretty cheap. It was nice, it's heavy. Anything that adds weight makes it feel more expensive, right? I did have a large piece of scrap plywood laying around. 12-inch miter saw. I could cut 12 inches, flip it, cut another 12. This was before I got a table saw, but it was enough. These legs I had got at a resale shop, and I had originally put them on a table because they were about 28 inches long, and the table was super wobbly. I took the table apart and set them aside. I knew I'd use them later. I'm cutting them down to 16 inches here, and because that takes out a lot of the height, it's a lot more stable whenever it hits the ground, especially since this marble weighs it down so much. I needed a circle. I could have used a circle jig, but I just picked up a weight that I had in the garage. I actually don't use these very much, so it was good to use it as a circle template. It was a little bit too small, so you'll see here in just a second, I had to measure a little bit outside of the weight, and I just kind of free-handed the outside circle. Again, a smarter person would have used a circle jig. I wing a lot of stuff. I wasn't really worried about this being exactly perfect because it's not a tabletop. I knew it was just going underneath the table. This was my first time using the rigid spindle sander. I loved it. I put about a 45-degree bevel on it, and just so it would taper in underneath the table. You'll see here in a few minutes. And liquid nails was really good to use. It adhered really well to the plywood, and I set it up overnight. Again, with the weights, I grabbed a 53-pound kettlebell. I don't use it that much, but it is really nice for weighing down plywood. Boom. I sanded a little bit of the character off the legs, but I didn't get too deep. I think it went with a high grit, like 220 right here. Had some leftover semi-gloss paint. Painted the plywood, got a little bit sloppy, which was okay because the marble is so slick. I was able to wipe it off all the way around very easily before dried. Even here, I just kind of eyeballed where I wanted this line to be. I didn't measure down. The legs are going to be at an angle, so they didn't need to be perfect. They were really close. I grabbed some semi-gloss spray paint here, and it actually did not stick onto the leg like I wanted. It resisted it just a little bit. Ended up being a little bit blotchy, but it kind of made it look a little bit more antique-ish, if that's a word. I liked it, and I left it. Last, you didn't see me spraying the hardware. I went ahead and sprayed the hardware as well. It was still tacky, but I'm very impatient, and I wanted to finish this to see what it would look like. And they stuck to each other. All the ears kind of stuck to each other here. I measured it to the middle and attached it to the plywood. Very artsy shot. I hope you appreciate it. Once it was attached, all I had to do was screw the legs in.
I wanted to show you that you could build something out of just some leftover pieces or some random pieces maybe that you have around your house or your garage. There's several different modifications that you could do to this. I thought of a base where you could glue up some 2x2s and then maybe leave those raw or paint those as well. There's a lot of different ways you could go with it. This is a very simple project. I just wanted to do more of a DIY project. If you have any suggestions for what you think I should have done, leave a comment down below, like, subscribe. Thank you for following along, and on to the next project.